All right, guys, we're hopping back into our 10 questions for the offseason. This one, pretty simple. Are you sure, 100% confident, or what level of confidence do you have that Deshaun Watson can be that guy the Browns need him to be in 2024?
Wait, which question are we answering?
Well, the one on the screen is, again,
how
same
confident
thing.
are you?
You can't be 100%.
Yeah, the 100% stupid. That doesn't make it sense.
There's only
like
so
the way
many
you
words that
rephrased
fit
it.
on the bottom,
Yeah.
so sometimes you got to clarify.
Where,
how confident
where are you?
guys?
What's your
Yes.
level of confidence,
Yes.
0 to 100?
I would say.
And how does it compare to where it was before 22 and before 23?
Yeah.
I would say throw that in real quick.
I would say that I am 79% sure that Deshaun Watson can be the guy.
And where were you?
All right, let's go, man.
Where were you? I hope you're right. Where were you
that's
the last
high.
2 years?
The last 2 years?
Yeah.
After the trade,
After the trade,
you
I
were probably
was
at 95.
Yeah, I was like, oh yeah, in this offense that's the thing. When I seen the trade, I thought in this offense he gonna run Kevin Stefanski stuff. So
Which he didn't.
Exactly. So
Right.
that's what kind of messed it up for me to where it was like it just don't. They're not gelling.
So what it go from 95 year one
to
down to like
47% or something.
Whoa,
like
wow,
that.
it went that low.
Yeah, I was like,
Oh, you
now
went to 47. Now you're back
what
up to
did you
80.
see
Now I'm back
that
at
made
7,
you,
yeah.
What did you see outside of the Baltimore half that shot it from 47 to 79?
I seen a guy that makes plays when needed, when crunch time, when things need to get done, he finds a way to do it. And we seen it in the Tennessee
We also had
game.
a large sample size of him not making plays this year.
True, and it was the first half of the Baltimore game was terrible.
Well, it was.
But it's something about, I think that if you're going to be a great player, I need to see what you do in defining moments when the game's on the line. And the last thought I have of him is 14 for 14 with a messed up shoulder. That tells me that dude is a warrior.
Okay.
That dude really wants to win, and he'll do whatever it takes to win.
Bull, where are you?
So when you ask me that he can be the guy, that means that he's going to be consistently great.
Right.
Right? That's what it means. That doesn't mean you never have a bad game, because even the best quarterbacks have bad games once in a while. But for the most part, the large majority of games in a season, you're going to play at a very high to elite level. That's what the best quarterbacks do most of the time. When the Browns traded for Deshaun Watson, I was at 99.99999999999%.
Yeah, you loved the trade.
Okay.
You loved it.
When Deshaun Watson came back from his 11-game suspension, I was at 95% still. I'd lost a little just because of what happened over that time.
Even
but I was still
was that before the 6 games?
before he actually played the 6 games.
Okay.
Okay. After he played the 6 games, I was down to 75%, give or take.
Okay.
Trying to remember how I was feeling in that moment.
Yeah. You were pretty critical of him after his 6
I was
games last year.
I was. So I was probably even lower. I'm going to say.
I would feel that it
I'm going to
was
say
lower.
65%.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Then by the time we got to the beginning of the season, I was more optimistic. So I was back. Then I was 75% before this season.
Okay.
Right now, today, I'm at 50%.
Wow.
And I'm not even sure I'm not being a little too optimistic on that number.
Yeah.
I'm at 50%. I think right now there's a 50-50 shot. No, I'm not 50-50. I'm being, as my man Nick Fink would say, even though he's bananas on Twitter and rips people inappropriately, I'm being intellectually dishonest. I'm at 42% because it's not 50-50.
Right.
Because if I had to, I hope I'm wrong about this number. I really do. But I don't feel that confident that he can be I feel confident that he'll have games where he plays really well.
Yeah.
And that if you said, hey, can he be what Baker was this year, which was good?
I don't know.
I'd have over a 50% of that.
I don't know, Bull. It's something about.
But if you're telling me, can he be in that class with Josh Allen and Joe Burrow and Mahomes, and where I think CJ's got to do it a second year for me. He was there this year, but he's got to do it a second year before I put him in that class. If he can he be in that class? I would say at 40% at best.
Let me ask you a question. Where did you classify Joe Flacco's 5 games or whatever it was before the playoff debacle? Where did you classify him?
Not in that category.
No, I'm just saying, like at that, how he was playing.
I would say that was
because I mean he led the NFL right
in yards.
Touchdowns,
yeah, but still, there was the touchdown to turnover ratio was not great.
Okay, so how did you feel? Like in that 5-game sample, if you compared it with anybody else in the NFL, where was he at?
I would say somewhere, if you in those games, I would say it was lower tier 2 because it's remember it's small sample size.
That's fine. No, I'm just asking a question.
I was thinking it was like he's in that like Kirk Cousins class.
That's
right.
Fine.
But Kirk Cousins will do that for the whole season. He don't throw that many picks.
I'm not saying it for
I'm
that.
saying
I'm not saying it for that
I
reason.
would say somewhere in the 8 to 14 range.
You agree with that? For that 5-game sample size, would you rate him in the 8 to 14?
No. I would rate him slightly below. I would say he's at the top tier of the second half of the league.
Okay. All right. The reason being is because
part of the reason I had him a little higher,
which isn't far from where he had.
Part of the reason I had him a little higher, and like the people that were getting mad that people were complimenting Flacco were like, if Watson played like Flacco, you wouldn't give him as much credit, and you're right. I wouldn't. Because
I would.
No,
I would.
By the way, if Deshaun Watson plays the way Joe Flacco did, that's not good enough. I expect him to play better than that.
Listen, compared to what we've got,
I know.
I'd be doing backflips
it's
with
better,
those numbers.
But Jay, the reason I was 99.999% when they traded for him, the reason why when the news broke I was on the radio and going bananas when they traded for him is because I was sure he was a top 5 quarterback because in Houston he had played like a top 5 quarterback.
Let me tie. Wait a minute, before you go, let me tie it up to why I asked that question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sometimes you need to see success. You need to see your offensive play caller work live.
Right.
And I think that he saw that and he thought to himself, I'm way better than Joe Flacco, and if he can do that, I could be way better in his offense. So that's why, to me,
it's taken him that long.
Yes, because some people you can just tell it to. It's like having a kid. You tell your kid, don't touch that stove because it's hot. Some kids will be like, you know what, I ain't gonna touch that stove. Some of them will go touch it just to find out for themselves.
Right. Listen, I hope you're right.
You got to see it to believe it.
We
and
all
I think
want you
he's
to be
one of
right.
those guys.
We all want you
He
to be
had
right.
to see it this year to be like, man, you know what, Kevin's stuff actually ain't bad. It does work. So if he's open to it, he can be better, and I think it would put him back in the top as a top player in the league because I don't think he turned the ball over.
I'll add a layer to my answer based on that scenario you just gave. When they traded for him, I was 50% sure that he could get to a Super Bowl. Because that guy, to me, that wasn't a trade to get to the playoffs. That trade was to win a Super Bowl.
Yes.
We all agree that, and that record will never be changed.
Yep.
We got to the playoffs with one guy, won a game. He's not good enough, even coming off some bad year. Boom, out. That move is an all-in move, just like the Cavs move to get Donovan Mitchell. We're in it to win it now. So I'm going to base my answer off that. At the time, I thought, given the quarterbacks in the AFC, given his baggage, and given the fact that he never really had team success in Houston, I think it's a 50-50 shot.
Okay. That's fair.
But I never had him as a top 5 quarterback. I just didn't.
Well,
I thought he was 6 to 10 and closer to 6 or 7.
He led the league. He led the league in passing and touchdowns.
I'm results oriented. Okay. I want wins.
Okay.
Well, he
and
won
stats.
regular season games the first 2 years there.
I want playoff success. You always say the regular season means nothing in this league.
He does
It's
say that.
about
So is
the
Lamar
playoffs.
Jackson top 5?
No.
Okay.
Right now, I think he's playing at an MVP level.
Well, he's going to win it.
I think he is going to win it.
Yeah.
Although, you know what? No,
tough.
I don't think he's going to win it. I still think there's a bias against Lamar Jackson.
Who's going to win it?
Well, he won it already.
Who's going to win it?
No, I mean this year. I mean based on his play
No,
this
I mean
year.
If he
won one
doesn't
already.
win it, who does?
Could be Josh Allen.
You're
Probably,
right.
Well, Josh Allen had some moments where he wasn't good, but I hope he wins it. I think he's played well enough to win it.
He got it.
But here's the thing.
It's over with.
All of the detractors are waiting to see what happens in that first playoff game.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
And the second playoff game, because it's not just good enough to win one.
That's true.
Right.
You got the 1 seed. You have to play in the AFC Championship game this year, period. So for me, I thought it was a 50-50 proposition Deshaun Watson could get us to a Super Bowl.
Okay, that's fair.
The more his baggage situation played out and it became an 11-game suspension, that number went down probably to 45%.
Okay.
That's a lot to overcome mentally. I was really worried about the psyche
A lot of people.
Deshaun
A lot of
Watson.
people to this day is.
And I still am. Then he played 6 games. Showed me absolutely nothing in those 6 games.
So you went down to like 10.
No, I went down to like 30.
Okay.
Because now that's who you are now. I need to see greatness recently, not past. No. Because I saw greatness from Baker here, and then I saw trash, and we moved on him. So if that's the way the machine moves and works, then trash is unacceptable.
This is it's been just trash for those 6 games.
It was trash.
Okay.
And then we got to see him this year, and he played much better than I expected him to play, but nowhere near the MSRP, the manufactured suggest retail price.
Right.
Nowhere near that, but he got me to work. He just didn't do it in style. But he was 7 touchdowns, 4 picks, 4-1 record, 5-1 technically, but he should get no credit for that Colts game.
Yeah.
But I count him at 4-1. Better. So I'm going to move up from the 30 to like 40.
Okay.
And that's where I am. However, that can move dramatically if he does one thing. And I want to hear him say this, I watched Joe Flacco operate in Kevin Stefanski's offense. And I know that isn't my comfort level, but after watching it for 7 games, I think I can do that.
No, you can easily.
And if I do that, I will be better at that than Joe Flacco was.
He will be.
I believe he can be. But that's the big elephant in the room right now. If we come back next year and we see him never under center and we see him not working the play fake, you have taken the most powerful thing about Kevin Stefanski's offense and you've put it to the side. If you don't use your biggest weapon, you're not going to win your biggest war. And the biggest weapon in the Stefanski offense is inarguably, to me, the play fake.
Well,
It makes things happen.
And it would be even better if 24 is back there again.
100%.
The play fake would be
100%
crazy.
agree with that. Because now there's a real threat that a handoff could ding us.
Exactly.
I think Houston came to this realization.
If they beat us running the ball,
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
We're not going to honor that play fake because we'll stop Jerome Ford.
Mike, we got 2 more questions, right?
We're going to go past
So here's what we're gonna do. I'm
overtime?
going to
Doing
read
no
overtime?
overtime.